Well, after being elected recently by the Democratic Alliance to be a candidate for the mayorship of the city of Johannesburg for the Democratic Alliance, that is Helen Zille, has now gone to Johannesburg. She has been taking a tour of the city of Johannesburg. That is the city where she was born and actually raised and worked. Helen Zille has vowed to fix the city of gold, which is not a city of gold anymore, but a city of ruins. 30 years of ANC destruction, 30 years of mayor after mayor, premier after premier from the ANC has only served to destroy the city. Inch by inch for 30 years, they managed to bring the city to its knees, and the city is now the city of ruins. It is now a shadow of itself. But Helen Zille has vowed to reclaim the city from the criminals in Hillbrow, the drug lords and the drug peddlers, and all the crime that's happening in Johannesburg and all the mess that is now the city of Johannesburg. Helen Zille says, well, I am the candidate. Send me and I will fix that 30 years of destruction and turn it into something good. Well, let's listen in to Helen Zille as she takes a tour of her life in Johannesburg, where she was born and actually raised and worked. Let's hear what she says about Johannesburg today and what she thinks will be required in order for the city to come back to life. Let's listen to Helen Zille.
My Joburg roots run very deep. I was born at 69 Esalen Street in Hillbrow, Johannesburg. You can see me here as a junior reporter in 1977, and 50 years later, or almost 50 years later, here's my same jersey, exactly the same jersey, and the same beads that I was wearing at the time. I've still got them. This is one of the very early photos of me being bathed. It was in May 1951. I was 2 months old. This is a picture of my mother doing baby gymnastics with me. She used to do baby gymnastics with me every night before my bath. That's my sister, equally lovely, and that's me as a kid. There's my father, that's me, that's my grandfather, that's my grandmother, and that was my cousin. That was my parents on their wedding day. It was the 9th of June, 1950. So this is another picture in a place in Johannesburg that was very important to me. It was the newsroom of the Rand Daily Mail. This is my ex-boyfriend, Matt Frangioli. He was great fun. He was a pilot. He used to have great times together. Here he was. He also used to love taking photographs. He was a photographer as well. And then I broke up with him and married him. This thing here that no one will recognize today is a telegram. And in the old days, when you wanted to send something to somebody quickly, you sent a telegram. And this is a telegram from my uncle and aunt to my parents, congratulating them on my birth. I love this little sculpture because it says everything one needs to know about making a success of government. And it says it's remarkable what can be accomplished when it doesn't matter who gets the credit. This was the story in which we were trying to reveal that Steve Biko had died of brain damage and not from a hunger strike. And we'd got the pathology reports from Dr. Jonathan Gluckman, who was the family's pathologist, but we had to protect his identity with our lives. Of them was that there was definitely not a hunger strike. And that gave us the opening to start revealing that he died of brain damage. This is another place that was very important to me, the University of the Witwatersrand, and there was on my graduation day. The campus of the University of the Witwatersrand, where I was a student and where I got my degree, it's one of the few places in Joburg that looks prettier today than it did back then. There are these wonderful strelitzia beds on both sides behind me, which weren't there when I was a student, and these beautiful blossoms. If I remember correctly, when I was a Wit student, this was just being constructed. This wasn't part of the original campus. And behind me, we have the wonderful cherry blossoms. In front of me, the Central Recreation Square, the fountain, which is something that wasn't here when I was here. This building behind me is called Princess Place. I believe it's a frail care centre now to look after old people. It used to be the Princess Nursing Home. And here at 69 Estlin Street, Hillbrow, Johannesburg, is the place that I was born, opened my eyes for the first time, took my first breath. Here I am at 27 2nd Street, a home that I remember so well. My parents were staying here when I was born, and then they shortly after that moved out. But this was my granny's house, and she lived here in Orange Grove, and I often came to visit her. It was really fantastic. I know this place so well, and the house looks exactly the same. Goodness, look what Namusa's doing. She's rolling out a red carpet to welcome me. I can't believe it. Look at this. I've never seen anything like it.
It's all for you. You're welcome.
Namusa, very lovely to meet you. This is my granny's old home, but I lived here for a little bit, and I often used to come and stay with my granny over weekends and things. So this is like my home.
Wow, wow. I still remember how it was.
It was exactly like this. There was the stoop, there was the crazy paving, the metal window frames. It was exactly like this.
Wow.
I would recognize the feeling that I feel walking into this house. It's just as I remember it. Obviously, there are new tiles here, but this is a new arch. We used to come into the kitchen from that passage. So this is a new arch. It wasn't here. Of course, in those days, there were no TVs. But the bed was here. It was quite a big bed, and my granny used to put me and my sister in the bed. 65 years ago that I was in this house. The steps. Back in my day, those steps went straight. They didn't curve down there. They went straight. I remember this so well. It's exactly the same. There were some fruit trees over there. This was my granny's sewing room. She used to sit here and sew on her sewing machine and fix things and knit things and do things for other people. Cheers to the generations, those who have lived here in the past and those still to come. So this is Eastbrook Court, where I used to live for quite a while as a young person straight out of university, having my first job. You don't expect me today. My name's Helen. I used to live in this flat. Very nice to meet you. Which flat are you in here?
I'm in number 21.
Oh, great. And I was in 15 on the other side.
Where you were now?
Yes.
Ah, that's
yes.
good. That's good.
Yeah, that's where I used to live.
Hope to see you again.
Yeah, so do
Hope to see you
I.
again.
So this is the Open Seasons block of flats that I used to live in when I worked for the Rand Daily Mail. And I lived on the ground floor here, just behind this palisade fence. It's pretty barred up now. I have never seen this shop before here in front. DK Fruit and Veg Supermarket. They've changed the entrance. It's over here, but look at that. Really unfortunate. These used to be beautiful pavements, a beautiful park. I used to take my little dog for a walk in that park. Welcome to Open Seasons, but it's pretty closed. My name is Helen Zille. How are you? Nice to see you, Ma. This was my door number. 103 Open Seasons, Mitchell Street, Berea. At Mimosa Court, this enormous building here, my gran lived about halfway up. It was called the Avalon, and now it's called the Mimosa. She moved into about the 7th floor here, if I remember correctly, and this is where my sister and I used to visit her every single fortnight. And it was an extraordinarily happy place for us to come. For every problem in Johannesburg, there is a group of dedicated, committed citizens taking hands to address it. And that is inspirational. That is the spirit of Joburg. That is what will enable Joburg to become the great city we all know that it should be and can be. All they need is a facilitative, corruption-free, dedicated, hardworking, committed local government with all of the forces trying to get the best for Joburg. You see me in the TV?
Yeah, Helen Zille.
Yeah, I'm Helen Zille. You can hug me, sure you can. Nice to see you. Are you well?
I'm fine.
Are you working here?
Yeah.
In the middle of a seriously derelict precinct is Davey Street, taken over by the private sector, developed, paved, greened, upgraded. It looks like a different country, let alone the same precinct. And this is the vision that we have to have for Joburg. This is the panorama that captures for me the once beating heart of this wonderful city. The ABSA building, once the South African Associated Newspaper building, where the Rand Daily Mail was housed and I worked every day. Next, the Carlton Centre, the smartest address in town where you had to go to see and be seen. Fantastic place, buzzing with energy. Then the old Herzog Tower, now called the Brixton Tower, where Albert Herzog tried to stop us getting television, but eventually was forced to cave in, and that tower brought us television. Then you have the old Telkom Tower, which brought us even more connectivity. And then you have the once pride of place in the aspirational addresses for Johannesburg, the Ponte Tower, where every young professional wanted to have a pad. Over to Ellis Park, where we spend so much time cheering our teams in the stands and having wonderful weekends in this great city. Today, she's a faded lady, but there's nothing that a makeover can't fix. I deeply believe in the city. Joburg is well worth the fighting for.
Well, Helen Zille there is very much adamant that the city of Johannesburg, the city of ruins now, can be turned around. She believes that the streets of Hillbrow can be cleaned again. She believes that the streets of the entire city, which have now become the grounds of gangs everywhere, and everything that is crime actually goes. No one wants to walk on the streets of Johannesburg. You cannot walk on the streets of Johannesburg holding your phone or holding anything that is important or that can be sold, because criminals there will snatch it from you and go and sell it for a penny and buy drugs or nyaupa or whatever it is that they buy. But Helen Zille says, I can clean the pavements. I can make sure that the businesses come back to this city and the economy begin to run again. Will Helen Zille be able to do it? Should the people of Johannesburg give Helen Zille a chance to try and see if she can do it? Well, from me, I say, why not? They have given a lot of ANC mayors and premiers many chances. 30 years is a very long time, and they've all failed to turn the city around. Maybe someone like Helen Zille can do better with a track record of having done that in the city of Cape Town. And Cape Town entirely, it looks like a beautiful place when it is compared to where the ANC has governed in the last 30 years. So someone like Helen Zille comes with a very good track record of fixing things that are broken. If anybody stands a chance of fixing the city of Johannesburg, that is Helen Zille. The only people that can stand in her way is the people that do not know what they want. Because if you want the city to be cleaned, Helen Zille could be the person that could do that. We have given a lot of people chances and they failed. But Helen Zille, we have not tried yet. And I think she would do a great job. She's the best candidate for the ruins of Johannesburg. Well, this will be the end of this segment. And if you made it to this point, thank you very much. Please remember to like and subscribe.